The lives of humans and animals are closely entwined. The relationship between them is based on responsibility, care and respect. Animals must be well looked after, but they can still be struck by disease even if they receive the best possible care. Some diseases are highly infectious. Many of them can be transmitted between humans and animals. Foot and mouth disease is one example of a highly infectious disease. The consequences were devastating when the UK was struck by a massive outbreak of foot and mouth disease in 2001. Millions of animals had to be slaughtered.
Foot and mouth problems have potential health risks. All that MAF can do tonight is hope the winds head away.
But just what and where from, we may never know. Colin Baker, ITN, Northumberland.
Prevention is far better than cure, and here Sweden's National Veterinary Institute, SVA, plays a key role. The institute is a centre of expertise in veterinary medicine. We have first-rate knowledge of animal diseases and the diseases that can be transmitted between humans and animals, which are known as zoonoses. Our goals are good animal health, safe food and healthy people. Healthy animals keep humans safe. We employ some 400 people with in-depth knowledge of all the diseases and pathogens that can affect animals and sometimes humans. Most of our staff have natural science degrees of various kinds, and around 100 of them have also PhDs. Our mission is to ensure that knowledge and methods are available to prevent, diagnose and fight animal diseases and zoonoses. We are more than happy to share our knowledge and do so by offering advice and expert assistance to veterinarians, public agencies, vested interests and the general public. SVA uses what is known as whole genome sequencing to effectively trace infections and also identify previously unknown pathogens. DNA mutations form a kind of fingerprint which can be used to connect different discoveries and map the course of an outbreak. In Sweden, we traditionally enjoy a high standard of animal health. Many infectious and dangerous diseases have been eradicated. We cannot take this favourable situation for granted. We live in a changing world. Animal feed, food, humans and animals travel back and forth across the globe. The climate is changing. New forms of conflict arise. The deliberate release of dangerous pathogens poses a new terrorist threat. We face a future in which we must be prepared for the occurrence of new infectious diseases or the return of old ones in new places. The rapid spread of avian influenza, or bird flu as it is more commonly known, gives cause for concern. Viruses mutate, and if the bird flu virus mutates so that it begins to spread between humans, it might lead to a pandemic. There are several examples of infectious agents that have mutated or changed their pattern of distribution. Infections borne by insects or ticks may spread northwards as autumns become longer and winters milder. So, what happens to infections when the climate changes? This is something we at SVA need to know. Research and development is needed, and the R&D is one of our 4 main tasks, essential if we are to achieve the other 3: disease surveillance and readiness diagnostics and analysis and knowledge transfer. We must be at the forefront of knowledge about infectious diseases. We must be prepared and have the surveillance and capacity to make the right diagnosis when we have an outbreak of a disease like Salmonella, for example. SVA conducts its own research and has extensive research collaboration with universities, including the Swedish University of Agricultural Sciences and Uppsala University. We take part in international research networks and communicate frequently with other veterinary institutions throughout the world. We are also involved in joint EU efforts to improve food safety and animal health throughout the Union. Many decisions concerning animal feed and food are taken at EU level. And naturally, we also have frequent close contact with other agencies, vets, companies, trade and professional organisation and interest groups in Sweden. All this gives us a good overview of the status of animal health and enables us to keep our research up to date and suited to the needs on the ground. At SVA, we deal with hundreds of diagnostic cases every day. A whole raft of activities may be needed to find the cause of death or illness. Examinations of whole carcasses, organs, tissues or samples of blood, feces, saliva or feed, and also of the animal's living conditions. SVA has the know-how and the technology to cover every link in the chain. We have one of Sweden's largest and most comprehensive veterinary laboratories. We also have people with specialist knowledge about the majority of animal species and about animal feed, an important link in the chain from farm to fork. If animals are given healthy and uncontaminated feed, they have a better chance of remaining healthy, which means that our food will be safe. SVA not only investigates diseases, we also analyze samples from animal and feed production and doping samples from horses and dogs. We manufacture and sell diagnostic products such as agar plates, broths, chemical buffers, reagents and cell cultivation media, products specifically adapted to our customers' wishes. At SVA, we have also developed unique products for use in veterinary practice or at other laboratories. Examples include Selma plates for diagnosing udder inflammation and VetMic for determining the resistance of bacteria. Our production facilities are ISO and environmentally certified. We examine and evaluate risks, whereas other agencies decide on action. Our research can lead to new aids in the battle against disease. SVA supplies vaccines in the interests of preparedness. We have responsibility as an emergency management agency. So, if there's an outbreak of animal disease, we're ready to help. Those working in the animal sector can contact us at any time. SVA is in a state of readiness 24/7. On-call vets at the Institute are able to give advice and raise the alarm at the slightest suspicion of an outbreak of serious disease, whether it be a disease transmitted between animals or one that can spread between animals and humans. During an outbreak of disease, SVA provides expert assistance to other agencies and organizations by identifying disease transmission routes, by performing risk analysis, and by proposing control measures. SVA has contingency plans and its laboratories can quickly scale up to cope with large sample volumes. We're also working to improve Sweden's general ability to respond to emergencies and disasters, especially those involving biological risks. We're able to handle the most dangerous pathogens in our specially equipped high-security laboratories. New diagnostic methods are rapidly developing, and SVA is playing a leading role in this field internationally. OIE, the World Organization for Animal Health, has designated SVA an international collaborating center for research, standardization, and dissemination of modern biotechnology-based diagnostics. We are extremely proud of this status. This shows that we are a center of excellence. SVA's high-security laboratory analyzes microorganisms that can cause serious or highly infectious diseases in animals and in some cases also in humans. One analysis is for suspected anthrax in cattle. Quick answers are needed so that the right action can be taken swiftly. This puts great demands upon our staff. Special training and protective equipment are needed to work in the high-security laboratory. One common way of identifying bacterial infection in animals is by analyzing a sample taken directly from the animal. The sample is cultured on agar plates before being assessed. Amongst other methods, SVA uses a technique known as MALDI-TOF to identify bacteria. The method is very quick and is based on mass spectrometry. Cultivated bacteria can be identified on the basis of their protein structure. Access to quick and reliable analytical method helps us to monitor diseases and to keep them at bay at a reasonable cost. It is particularly important to keep an eye on highly infectious animal diseases and on infections that can be transmitted between animals and humans. We take part in a number of programs to monitor and control zoonoses such as mad cow disease, salmonella, campylobacter, as well as trichinosis, rabies and echinococcosis. This surveillance makes us better prepared. It is conducted in collaboration with several other agencies and organizations, including the Swedish Board of Agriculture, National Food Agency, the Civil Contingencies Agency, the Environmental Protection Agency, the Federation of Swedish Farmers, Swedish Animal Health, Växtsverige, and others. Another hazard demanding keen vigilance is the spread of bacteria that cannot be treated with antibiotics. Their widespread indiscriminate use increases the risk we face. SVA has been given the task of encouraging efficient use of antibiotics to ensure that antibiotic-resistant bacteria do not occur among animals and in food and then spread to humans. SVA has also been instructed to map the occurrence of infections and resistance to antibiotics from farm to fork. Infections can also spread from the environment to animals and humans. So, SVA monitors many parts of the green sector: farm animals, animal feed, food, sporting animals and pets, game, fish, the environment and ecocycles. Livestock kept outdoors are particularly at risk because they can be affected via soil, water, wild animals and insects. SVA is also working to control the spread of pathogens in the environment, for example via manure, sewage, drinking water, recycled food waste and other compost. You can help us in this task by sending in the carcasses of wild animals and fish. By working together and remaining constantly alert, we can maintain a high standard of public health. SVA, a centre of expertise keeping you safe every day. Healthy animals means safe humans.